Putting the spotlight on a surge in development on the African continent in recent years, the UN General Assembly gathered in New York to assess the necessary investment and partnership to further the developmental aspirations of its people.
Today's Africa offers the most promising growth opportunities in the world. In recent years, many African countries have experienced positive economic performances, a trend that is expected to continue, with economic growth projected to be at least 5.3% in 2014. At the same time, we know that many African countries will not be able to meet the Millennium Development Goals and are still struggling with hunger, poverty, inequality, poor human development outcomes, and difficulty building their social capital.
To end extreme poverty and provide inclusive prosperity, Africa needs three things. First, enabling environment that promote investment and reduce risk. Second, the right kind of investment. Third, and wise management of the proceeds so they support sustainable development.
Panelists especially focused their attention on the need for investment in infrastructure connectivity as a key to the integration and economic success across Africa.
The lack of adequate project preparation funding and facilities remain a bottleneck to infrastructure development in Africa. Further work is therefore needed on improving project preparation facilities and optimizing the lending capacity of multilateral development banks for regional infrastructure projects.
Infrastructure alone is not enough. Countries also need an enabling environment for business, an enabling environment that is predictable, supports entrepreneurship, protects property rights, promotes access to finance, and fights corruption. An enabling environment also means having a high-quality, demand-driven education and training, vibrant labor markets, and a certain capacity for research and development.
Despite being rich in natural resources, the benefits of their revenues are distributed unequally and rarely invested in developmental strategy. To bridge its current financial gap and reduce economic inequality, African member states need to focus on innovative economic initiatives and public-private partnerships.
Productive and increased investment in agriculture, industrialization, and infrastructure all depend on successful engagement with the private sector. With the adoption of NEPAD in 2001, African leaders underscored the central role of investment in Africa's economic revival and committed their countries to establish an enabling environment for private sector growth. Since then, Africa has continued to emphasize the importance of private sector engagement for its short and long-term development vision.
Anticipating a burst of momentum to accompany the implementation of the post-2015 development agenda at the end of next year, the United Nations and its member states agree that the time is now to make sure that both social and economic development in African states are included in the post-2015 consultations, and that the roads are open to an ambitious financial framework for investment to accompany Africa's development goals. For South-South News, this is Shari Naiman from the United Nations.